I think you must have definitely shared. Okay, it's Ram Shraddha Prabhuji. So, anybody else would like to announce before we hand over the call to Ram Shraddha Prabhuji?
Jai Ho.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My Dharam
Jai
Pranam
Ho.
to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for your association. So today on Everyday Chant Harinam conference call, we are going to be studying Bhagvatam 7, 15, 31 and onwards. So please take over, Prabhuji.
Jai Ho. All glory to Sri Guru and Garam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. One day, Sri Guru, if there is any possibility, and along with us. One day, Sri Guru, Sri Utapta Kamalam, Sri Guru Vaishnavam, Sri Rupam Sagdatam Saganarganatam Tam Satiyo, Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Radha Krishna Padra Rita Sim Sakartam, Om Gyaratimiranda Srigananjana Salaka, Chakshur Miladamena, Om Raya Krishna Prishtaya Pudrai, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhi Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Pati Pata Deshkari Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhika Pyatmane Sri Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayana Nam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Putale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Nam Srivashavana Devi Daitaya Kripapte Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namah Madhyarojjala Premadya Sirupanuga Bhakti Dhasi Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigraha Namaste Gauravani Sukta Yedina Tarini Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harini Panchakalpataro Vesakripa Sindhu Vevachampati Tanam Pavani Vaishnave Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश दिगा कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि जय ताम सुरतो पंगुर मुकुंद मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बुज श्री राधा मदन मोहन दिव्या वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद रत्नांगर सिंहासनस्थो श्री राधा श्री गोविंद देव कृष्णाल किसी विमारम स्मरण श्रीमन रासरसारंभी वंशीवत ततस्त कर्षण वेणुष्मनैर गोपी गोपीनाथ श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय ध्याय के सवस्ता कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपं तावतार भाग्यं नमामि भक्ति सत्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर एवरीबॉडी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
Krishna, Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एवरीबॉडी
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी शृण्वतां स्वकतः कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन सिद्धान्तस्तय भद्राणि भवति सुप्रसन्नाम् ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री सुखदेव गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेशन एंड purports की जय. So now we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 15, Instructions for Civilized Human Beings. A lot of instructions, this whole chapter, a lot of instructions. I will read yesterday's verse once again. Yas chitta vijaye yata shyan nisango अपरिग्रह एको विविक्त शरणो भिक्षुर वैक्ष्य मिताशनसः. Translation: one who desires to conquer the mind must leave the company of his family and live in a solid place, free from contaminated association. To maintain the body and soul together, he should beg as much as he needs for the bare necessities of life. This is the process for conquering the agitation of the mind. One is recommended to take leave of the family and live alone, maintaining body and soul together by begging alms and eating only as much as the body is needed to keep himself alive. Without such a process, one cannot conquer lusty desires. Sannyasa means accepting a life of begging, which makes one automatically very humble and meek and free from lusty desires. In this regard, the following verses appear in the Smriti literature. Dvandva hatasya garahasnyam dhyana bhangadi karanam lokasyatva grihis pastam sanyased avicharayan. In this world of duality, family life is a cause that spoils one's spiritual life or meditation. Specifically, understanding this fact, one should accept the order of sannyas without hesitation. This was yesterday's verse. Of course, this was even spoken in a different age when Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingadev appeared. This is not in Kali Yuga. So even in those days, it is highly recommended to one to take sannyas so that one can achieve spiritual success. And what to speak of today, where the whole situation is so mad, full of madness, this association with the opposite sex and family and children. In America especially, you will find single parents, man with the children, woman with children, they're separated. And you will find a lot of variations in this. Sometimes a woman has children with so many men. So in such a situation, how can there be a peaceful spiritual life? It is not possible. The mind is so absorbed in trying to maintain the body and soul together. Even that they cannot do it properly. Therefore, it is recommended to take sannyas so that one is free from this davanala, the forest fire of material existence, by taking shelter of a sadhu and go to the forest. In our case, the forest means Vrindavan and Navadvip. This is the forest. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he stayed in Godrindu, Swaranda Sukada Kunj. This is where he perfected his meditation. Huh? What is it? So you can see how much it is stressed that one give up the company of the family. But in the age of Kali, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. So sometimes it is recommended. Well, wherever you are, sthane sita sprikatan tanuvan manovi. Wherever you are situated, just practice this process of devotion service. You don't have to leave this place and that place, go somewhere here and there and again become bewildered and again set up another family elsewhere. So wherever you are, you follow this process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, getting up in the morning, chanting the holy names, and Mangalarti, and reading Bhagvatam, all these things, worshipping the deity. Very important. If this is performed, you are putting actually Krishna in the center of your life. Krishna becomes the purpose of one's life. And the whole day should be for working for Krishna. Even though it is Karma Yoga or Karma Mishra Bhakti, but still that is highly recommended than no Bhakti at all. Okay. Now we'll read the verse 31. Do you have the Bhagavatam yourself in front of you? Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I shared the link of
today's verse in the
Okay.
description box. So everybody, you
Okay.
can please go ahead and see in the
Read
chat
along.
box. Yeah.
Deshe shuchau
Deshe
Suchau Samerajan
Samirajan
Samerajan
Samstapyasanam
Sanstapyasanam
Atmanaha
Atmanaha
Stiram Sukam
Tiram Sukham
Samam Tasmin
Samam Tasmin
Tasmin
Asitarjva
Asitajwadga
Anga Om Iti.
Anga Omiti.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear King, in a sacred and holy place of pilgrimage, one should select a place in which to perform yoga. The place must be level, not too high or low. There one should sit very comfortably, being steady and equipoised, keeping his body straight, and thus begin chanting the Vedic pranama. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Generally, the chanting of Om is recommended because in the beginning one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of God. As stated in the Srimad Bhagvatam, Vadanti tat tattva vidat tatvam jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sabhyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Unless one is fully convinced of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one has a tendency to become an impersonalist yogi searching for the Supreme Lord within the core of his heart. Dhyana vastita tad gatena manasa pashanti yam yogin. Here the chanting of the Omkara is recommended because in the beginning of transcendental realization, instead of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one may chant the Omkara pranava. There is no difference between the Hare Krishna mantra and Omkara because both of them are sound representation of the Supreme Personality of God. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. In all Vedic literature, the sound of vibration Omkara is the beginning. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. The difference between chanting Omkara and the chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is that Hare Krishna mantra may be chanted without consideration of the place or the sitting arrangements recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. Suchau Deshe Pratistapya Stiram Asanam Atmana Nati Uchritam Nati Nicham Chailajjina Kusumottaram. This is in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 11. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin and a soft cloth. The seat should neither be too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The Hare Krishna mantra may be chanted by anyone without consideration of the place or how one sits. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has openly declared, Niyatama Smaranena Kala, Niyamita Smaranena Kala. In chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, there is no particular injunctions regarding one's sitting place. The injunction Niyamita Smaranena Kala includes Desha Kala Patra, place, time, and the individual. Therefore, anyone may chant the Hare Krishna mantra without consideration of time and place, especially in this age of Kali Yuga. It is very difficult to find a suitable place according to the recommendations of the Bhagavad Gita. The Hare Krishna mantra, however, may be chanted at any place and any time, and this will bring results very quickly. That even while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one may observe regulative principles. Thus, while sitting and chanting, one may keep his body straight, and thus will help one. And this will help one in the chanting process. Otherwise, one may feel sleepy. Very important instruction. Prabhupada talks about the difference between Omkara and chanting. Basically, there is no difference. But in the Omkara, there is a specific method to sit, not too high, not too low, and sit straight like this. These are very important. And in a lonely place, secluded place, in a very auspicious place, like Haridwar, Rameshwaram, or Vrindavan, Govardhan, and places like that. But
So, what is the Omkara chanting, Prabhuji?
Om, that's all.
Or not Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva?
No, no. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva is still going further, deep into the subject matter. Om. Om. Like that. So, Omkara has some injunctions, how to chant, how to sit properly, and so on and so on. But the chanting of the Maha Mantra, there is no such instruction. In any condition, one can chant. One can chant in the bathroom, one can chant. You cannot chant, even sit properly in a bathroom, in a toilet. It's not so easy. Therefore, in the age of Kali, therefore, the chanting of the Maha Mantra, one can do in any condition. While getting up from the bed, you can chant Hare Krishna Mantra. At all times, one should remember Krishna. But in Omkara Mantra, there are certain restrictions. You cannot be walking and chant Om, Om, Om. That is not possible. That is not even recommended. But one can chant the holy name of the Lord. One can do Nagar Kirtan, which is completely comprising of the Maha Mantra. And this way one gets the benefit not only for oneself, but for others also, other living entities. There's so many living entities which we see and which we don't see. Everybody will get benefit. All the bugs, the little butterflies, and what all they are floating in the space, the dogs and the cats, everybody will get benefit. This is the speciality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Harinam Sankirtan. That's why it is mentioned. Kalo doshanije rajan, asti ego mahan guna. In the age of Kali, it is full of faults. Everywhere there are faults. Asti eko mahan guna. But there is one good qualification. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. Simply by chanting the name of Krishna. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya mukta sangam param. He attains this mukti, or the becomes free from the repetition of birth and death, and by developing love for Krishna. There's so many benefits of chanting the holy name in this age of Kali. Kalau dosha nija radhan, because the Kali Yuga is full of faults, doshas. There's no end to these doshas. Therefore, Maha Mantra is recommended. And then Prabhupada goes into details on this point. Because the idea is the duration of life is very short. This was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami during the time of Prahlad Maharaj. The time was different. People wished to live for a longer duration of time. So we have enough time. Excuse me. With all this disturbance, how can we meditate? Om. So therefore, it is recommended to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. One can do kirtan anywhere at any time. There is no restriction. While getting up from the bed, you can do a kirtan. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate. You can chant this mantra. There's so many nice mantras like that. Or just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Every day we do Mangalarti. We have a nice Bhairav Rag in the morning time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this way one can chant and begin the day like that. Even in the shower, one can chant the holy name of the Lord, whereas in Omkara, you cannot do that. It will not produce the desired result. Therefore, one should try to do things according to what is needed for this age of Kali. Even though Bhagavatam, there are so many statements of so many processes of devotional service for different ages and Satya, Dwapara, Treta. But when it comes to Kali Yuga, Kala Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva, Gatiranyata. 3 times. Hare Nam, Hare Nam. Kalo Nasteva, 3 times. There is no other process except chanting of the holy name. So it is mentioned with great emphasis that is in the age of Kali, one should chant the holy names of the Lord. And then there are no restrictions. Nam Namakari Bahudani Sarva Shakti Tatrapitani Amita Smarani. There's so many names of the holy names of the Lord. Yashamati Nandana Braja Nagar Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana. So many names. Vibhavari Sesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chadi Utajiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Narasimha Vamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendra Nandana Shama Bhutana Gatana Koitab Shatana Jaya Dasharati Nama. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written this beautiful song for the Brahma Murta time. Especially when you do Mangalarti. In Vrindavan we do that. So these are some things one has to sing. This is full of ras. Right from the beginning, morning, we are singing the names of Krishna and there are so many nice meanings. Putana Ghatana Kaitava Shatana Jaya Dasharati Ram. For the destroyer of the killer of the Putana. So like that, there are so many names of Krishna, which is filled with rasa, all the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. And on top of that, this will establish as a sambandha. Like I heard before your chanting session, one has to chant in the morning. Yes, this is all correct. But chanting must be done with the sambandha jnana. Otherwise, chanting will become pious activity. If you want to get the spiritual benefit, chanting should be done with sambandha jnana, that I am part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is my Lord and Master. I am chanting for his transcendental pleasure to make this relationship more stronger. Sambandha abhideya prayojana. The goal is to attain prema. Sadhana is called sadhana bhakti when sadhana is aiming at bhav bhakti. And bhav bhakti is called bhav bhakti when it is aiming at prema. So this is the line of sequence. So therefore, one should chant the holy name of the Lord by remembering that we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Mama ivamto jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana manasthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshit. But because we have no sambandha with Krishna, we are struggling with our mind, senses and intelligence and falsehood. Manasya sthani indriyani prakriti sthani karshit. We are struggling. Therefore, we have to chant the holy name of the Lord with sambandha jnana. My goal is to attain Bhav Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Then chanting will make the desired result. Then it is not anymore pious activity, it is sadhana bhakti. But sometimes we forget we are in an institution or in a group of people. We just talk in terms of numbers and this and that. And we forget that actually chanting is meant for attaining Bhava Bhakti, and Bhava Bhakti attaining Prema Bhakti. And in one step before Bhava Bhakti, Ashakti, then the Shuddha Nam will descend on the tongue. From that time, chanting will not be anymore an endeavor. It is automatic, full of ras, always remembering Krishna's name, pastimes, Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Otherwise, right now it's difficult to even chant, and when we chant, our mind is going here and there, everywhere. But under the guidance of seniors or those who are advanced devotees, one should chant the holy name with the Sambandha Gyan. When we chant the holy name of the Lord, not only we chant and hear, but we should remember also different pastimes of the Lord. Because if your chanting becomes purer and purer, then automatically some pastime of the Lord will enter into your mind. And keep chanting, remembering that pastime. What Krishna did here, what Krishna did Kalya Damana, and how it is called Purvarag before meeting the gopis. All the different aspects of the pastimes will be revealed. So as one advances in chanting the holy name of the Lord, not mechanically, but with Sambandha Gyan. You have to always remember Sambandha Gyan, Sambandha Avidaya Prayojana. Without Sambandha to Krishna consciousness, all our activities in devotional service will become pious activity, punya. But Sambandha will increase our attachment to Krishna. We want to hear more about Krishna. We want to, that's why it's mentioned in Asakti stage, the Nam and Namiya. The Namiya becomes more prominent than the Nam itself. The object of Nam is Namiya. That becomes more prominent. Because that Krishna is our goal. And Krishna means Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. So we are chanting the holy names of the Lord so that we can remember Krishna's Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. This is the whole purpose of chanting. Therefore, we have to try to understand chanting as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described. And we should chant with focus. That means when we sit and chant, there should be no other engagement. It's not like there's a call coming, there's this coming, there's that coming. Then it becomes very difficult to chant properly. You chant with proper honor. Just like when I talk to you, I expect that you hear me. And similarly, when you talk to me, you expect that I hear you. But if you talk to me and my mind is somewhere else, then it is, it's almost like an offense. And one should not chant like that. We are chanting Krishna's name, which is non-different from Krishna. And then you should chant and hear and remember Krishna's passion. Therefore, we read also Shastras. Like when you worship the deity, you have to read Shastras every day. We have Bhagavatam classes. We are discussing the different pastimes from the different aspects, what the Acharyas have explained to us. Because then the worshipping the Lord becomes not a mere ritual, but actually a process to connect with Krishna. These are all very important points. How to conduct one's devotional service in such a way that it becomes the sadhan, sambandha follows abhidaya, and abhidaya follows prayojan, that is to attain prema. So, if there are any questions or comments at this stage, please let me know. Any questions, comments? Hari Bol. No sound. Everybody is in Mauna there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, when you talk about Sambandha, very nice class.
Yeah.
A relationship with Krishna and you're connecting chanting to that. So relationship can be made when we read Srila Prabhupada's books. That is the only way, right?
You have to hear from a realized soul. Of course,
Yeah,
Prabhupada,
hearing.
if you have any other association, just read Prabhupada's books. That's good. But then you have to get to the point. The purpose of reading Prabhupada's books is to develop our sambandha with Krishna. It is not in bhakti, there is no mechanical process. The goal is very clear, to attain prema. But then it is all connected with sambandha. If you don't have sambandha with Krishna, whom will you have prema with whom? So similarly, chanting must be done with sambandha jnana. Krishna says, Man manam avabhakto matyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me, remember me, pay obeisance unto me, worship me. Why should he answer everything in the first person? I, me, and mine. So chanting of the holy name must be done with sambandha jnana. All the time remembering, I am an eternal servant of Krishna. Always remembering. Therefore it is called, I am not chanting, I am actually serving the holy name of the Lord. Serving the holy name. If you don't serve, if you don't chant as a means of service to the holy name, then it will become a pious activity. And pious activity means the holy name will fulfill one's material desires, whatever desires. Any other questions?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, but if you're thinking of the pastimes while doing the mantra, then the focus of on the mantra goes away into the pastimes, you know?
So what? What is the problem? After all, your purpose of chanting is to remember the past, but this has to be natural. In the beginning, everything is done with a little force. But as we advance in devotional service, remembering the pastime of the Lord is very natural. You chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is Hare Krishna? Means Radha Krishna. And what is the happening between Radha and Krishna? Pastimes. It is not a mechanical focus. We are not a military, very mechanically doing. No. Our goal is to develop an intimate relationship with Krishna, Radha Krishna Jugal, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Because without the spiritual master, this whole thing will not develop.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? Comments? So we'll read the verse 32 and 33. Pranapano saniruntyat pura kumbhakare chakai yavan manas tyajet kaman swanasagra nirikshana yato yato nisharati mana kama hatam ramat tatas tata upahritya hridirundyat shanair buddha. Translation. While continuously staring at the tip of the nose, a learned yogi practices the breathing exercise through the technical means known as Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka, controlling inhalation, exhalation, and then stopping them both. In this way, the yogi restricts his mind from material attachment and gives up all material desire. As soon as the mind becomes being defeated by lusty desire, drifts towards feelings of sense gratification, the yogi should immediately bring it back and arrest it within the core of his heart. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The practice of yoga is concisely explained herein. When this practice of yoga is perfect, one sees the super soul, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of one's heart. However, in Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says, 647, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate antaratma shraddhavan bhajate yumam samay. Of all the yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. A devotee can immediately become perfect yogi because he practices keeping Krishna constantly within the core of his heart. This is another way to practice yoga easily. The Lord says, Manmana bhava mat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of me and become my devotee, worship me and offer you homage. One practices devotion service by always keeping Krishna within the core of his heart. Manmanaha. And he immediately becomes a first-class yogi. Furthermore, keeping Krishna within the mind is not a difficult task for the devotee. For an ordinary person in the bodily concept of life, the practice of yoga may be helpful. But one who immediately takes to the devotional service can immediately become a perfect yogi without difficulty. Very nicely explained. You know, I remember when I first read Bhagavad Gita, another edition, not Prabhupada's edition, and this meditating on the tip of the nose, and I used to sit with the Bhagavad Gita and try to meditate on the tip of the nose. I couldn't do it for more than a few minutes, a few seconds. I was just wondering how to do that, because I felt I needed a guru, a teacher, who teaches me how to do this. Not by reading, you can do that. Unless your past life samskars are so strong, as soon as you read, you start remembering Krishna, you start chanting Hare Krishna, you start meditating. But generally, people require a teacher. I mean, even if you are very advanced from your previous life, still one must have a guru. Even if you are a Mahabhagavat, you will have to have a guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had a guru, Ishvara Guru. So it's very important. These things are important to understand, that guru must be there and everything should be understood under the directions of the guru. Since guru is the actual person who molds our spiritual life. Like a woman must have a husband. What all she has learned in the house will be used in the service of the husband and make him happy and satisfied. In the material world also this principle is there. Similarly, one must have a guru so that we can learn from the guru how to serve Krishna and please Krishna. But by pleasing the guru, one cannot know whether Krishna is pleased or not unless the guru is very pleased. This is the process. In husband-wife relationship, guru-disciple, the same principle is the same. But the guru and disciple and Krishna, that relationship is 100% spiritual. The others can be spiritual. Husband and wife can be spiritual if the Krishna is the center of the family, center of their life. But it can become material also if it is simply considered or how to make a comfortable life and this and that. Then it can become material. Therefore, one must become a yogi in all aspects. Everything what you do, everything, Krishna says, one must be a yogi in all aspects of it. While walking, while talking, while working, while cooking, while taking prasadam. This is all what a yogi does. That. Everything should be done in the level of yoga. Yoga karmashu kaushal. So if there are any questions of this particular verse, please comment or ask.
So, Prabhuji, the husband and wife are two souls, right? We should not differentiate. So, why should the wife be serving the husband?
Well, everybody is a servant. Wife also serves the husband. Husband also serves the wife by taking care, providing the needs and the means and everything. If
Yeah,
you're not serving,
uh,
you're thinking, well, I'm equal to my husband or even more than my husband. Then what will happen? Mayavadi philosophy will come. I'm as good as Krishna. You can become equal or more than Krishna provided you have that relationship with Krishna. The gopis sometimes they chastise Krishna, but you and I cannot chastise Krishna. We don't have a relationship yet. So husband and wife must enter into a relationship, and relationship is based on love, means divorce service. If there is no service, there is no love whatsoever. Whom are you cooking for? If the husband says, wow, today your dal is so first class, you feel very greatly pleased. Oh, my husband likes my dal. Or my chapati is first class. And if you have offered that to Krishna, he is even more happy. Oh, this is such nice things are being offered to the Lord, and I am taking Krishna Prasad. That is the actual meaning of service. It's not like why he should be served, why. This This sort of questions are only for Mayavadis. For a devotee, any opportunity to serve not only Guru and husband, but all living entities. Like we have started Prasadam distribution. This time it will be this Sunday. And we are going around the block here and distributing 400-500 plates of Prasadam. Why should we serve? They are not hungry. They did not even ask for Prasadam. But it's our duty to share Prasadam to everybody, so that their lives become uplifted and our own lives become transcendentally goal-oriented. Our goal of life is to serve. Serve not only Krishna and Guru and Krishna, but also serve other living entities.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai. Any other questions, comments? Vamsi Vilas Prabhu. Pranita. What is the name? Pranita Ambolkar. Jai Ho. I can't hear you. You have to make the volume bigger.
I don't know. Can you hear me, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes. Now I can hear you properly.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. You always very insightful class and the importance of Sambandha Gyan, relationship with the Lord. Also, the question I have is from the Omkara or Pranava mantra. And there is also an interpretation that Om constitute of 3 letters, A, U, Ma.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
And I think Jiva Goswami has said, A is Krishna, U is Radharani, and Ma is Jiva. So is that also
Yes.
one way to understand that, even Omkara is having Radha Krishna?
Yes. Actually, the Vaishnavas have a slightly different understanding than the Mayavadis, because their goal is very clear. Sambandha is very strong. The Sambandha Gyan is very strong. Therefore, A, U, Ma is actually called Radha, Krishna, and the soul. This is also correct. So that's why we chant, all our mantras are beginning with Om. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha. When you put tilak, what are you chanting? Om Keshavaya Namaha. And even
So
the
it is,
Achaman we do.
so it is Radha Krishna, and soul means Atma, Aratma or Paramatma?
Yes. No, Atma.
So thank you.
Radha Krishna Paramatma is more than Paramatma actually. So you can say Radha and Krishna together, they are also Paramatma within the heart. Therefore, we are doing Achaman, Om Keshvaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha. When we worship the Lord, we offer every flower at 16 angas, upacharas we are offering. I am Gurave Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Idam Pushpanjali, Om Keshvaya Namaha, Kesha Madhuparka, Om Keshavaya Namaha. It's like that, we are always chanting Om. Om is very important in a Homa. Oh, there is no mantra without Homa. Om. All mantras must be supported by Om. Because Om is a purifying factor, because Om is non-different from Krishna. Krishna says, I am the syllable Om. But the impersonalists, they have a different way of understanding Om, is mainly to merge into Krishna's impersonal feature, and they have no service attitude, like the devotees have. Any other questions or comments? Here it is very hot. So,
From Chinmaya Mission, from Chinmaya Mission, people always greet you Hari Om.
Yeah, in some places of India, they're like that. Hari Om.
Hari Om, they say like that.
Yeah. And we say Hare Krishna.
Yes.
In reply to that. So today here, not today, but since last several days, we are very hot weather, sweating like anything. Oh my goodness. But anyhow, we're hoping the train will come. It comes for half an hour, then it goes away. Then the next day morning, it increases the heat. The material world is made in such a way, you cannot make it a very comfortable place. In India, here in this part of the country, it is hot weather. In some parts of the world, it is cold. It's like material world is like that. It's made dualities, happiness and distress, heat and cold. So to overcome all these things, one should kirtana, kalo dosha nija rasan asti eko mahan gunat kirtana eva krishnasya mukta sangam param. Always remember this verse. Any other comments before we start a little bhajan?
Prabhuji, I like that point in the end of the previous verse where it says that everybody should sit up straight, otherwise fall sleepy. Yeah. So there's one of Prabhupada's instruction, where everybody's chanting, and then he's sit straight,
Yeah.
And in the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned the same thing. So I was thinking that how, Prabhupada is instructing there, and the same instruction we're getting here, there's no difference.
Sit straight. Actually, one should, when you sit, you are sitting straight to talking to somebody, wherever you sit. So you have to sit straight so that you can communicate your mind to somebody properly. So while chanting, we are trying to hear Krishna's name, which is non-different from Krishna. So one should sit and hear properly. Sit and hear properly. Chant and hear properly. Very important. One cannot chant like this all whimsically. No, there's a proper way of doing things. In the beginning, generally, no restrictions are kept. Any way you let him chant. But gradually, as one advances, then he is supposed to chant properly. Like in the beginning, the child will learn English or any language in a broken way, this and that. But if he gets 4 or 5 years, he is not allowed to be in the same stage. He has to speak properly. He has to express properly. Parents are there to guide them. Teachers are there to guide him. So over a period of 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, he will learn the format of expressing his mind, his thoughts in a proper way, in a language.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Let us,
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that when they say you have to concentrate on the tip of the nose, so that is very hard to do. Is it something close to our eyelids should be not open too much or open too less or close too much?
Yeah.
It is very hard to concentrate on the tip of the nose.
On the tip of if you want to concentrate on the tip of the nose, you have to see the tip of the nose also. You cannot close the eyes. If you close the eyes, you'll...
Prabhuji, I tried doing it. It's very hard to do that.
Better don't worry about that. You worry the process of bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna mantra and remember Krishna pastimes. This is not our problem.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I have a question.
Yes.
How to recognize that we developed a bhava or prema in the bhakti? Is there an easy way to realize?
But there is nothing like easy way. There is a process. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Anartha Nivritti Ruchi Rati Nishta Ruti Rachi Asakti Bhav and Prem. This is the process. The nectar of devotion. Our Rupa Goswami is explaining this. So first stage, Anartha Nivritti, as it reduces the unwanted things in the heart, then comes Nishta. When Nishta means firm conviction. In the beginning stage, it is Adav Shraddha, with a little faith, and then becomes firm conviction. And then this will turn into Adav Shraddha, then Nishta, Ruchi, taste, Rati, attachment, and then Ashakti, firm attachment. And when firm attachment comes, then the Shuddha Nam will descend on the tongue. It is not anymore you are trying to chant you will automatically chant. You cannot stop chanting. 24 hours a day, you are remembering Krishna's pastime. Asakti, where the bhajaniya becomes more prominent than bhajan itself. Bhajaniya means object of bhajan, the goal of bhajan. That is Krishna. And then bhav. When bhav comes, the 24 hours a day one is engaged in different services and remembering all the pastimes. He's always singing songs, he's always serving Krishna. Not a second gets wasted away. And then comes prem. It is full of flavor. Bhav itself is, the devotional service becomes full of flavor. And then it becomes prema. So when such stage comes, then it will be a non-stop affair. You can understand whether you have bhav or prem or any of this level. This is a very high level. That means the Shuddha Nam has descended on the tongue of the devotee. He cannot stop chanting. Right now we are doing Namaparad mostly. And maybe Namabhas. But mostly Namaparad. We have too many material desires. We have to somehow or other want to accomplish our desires. Even we take shelter of the holy name to accomplish our desires. It's Namaparad. Then Namabhas. Shadow. Reflection of the holy name. And then comes Shuddhana, the Uttama Bhagavad state. It already starts from the Madhyam platform, but Madhyam to Madhyam Uttam, that's where the Shuddhanam starts descending. And when Shuddhanam descends, you cannot stop chanting. That is the stage to understand. But one cannot, if at all, if these stages are arrived, then one also understands one's insignificant nature. Very tiny part and parcel of Krishna. Very tiny. 1/10,000th the tip of that. Like us, there are billions of souls like that, in all varieties of external forms. And then when humility will come automatically to such a person, and he will see as he advances, he will feel that he doesn't have taste for chanting. He's praying to the Lord. Nama nama kari bauda nija sarva shakti prapita niyamita smaranena kala etadshi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva mitrisham yajani nanurag. I'll read the translation of this verse. This is in Shishtashtaka. You have manifested all your potency in your innumerable holy names. There are no restrictions on when they may be remembered. Oh Bhagavan, you are so merciful, but I am so unfortunate that spontaneous attachment, anurag for your holy names has not arisen within my heart. So if you really advance, you will realize how less of an attachment for Krishna you have. And you are praying to Krishna. And in such a state of, then the tears will come, you feel separation, all these things will come.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You feel that you have no taste for the chant yet.
Right.
Because if the chanting is pure, then it will also make you realize you are insignificant.
Right.
Part and parcel. Not that I become a big devotee, everybody has to know. I will speak on the YouTube and everybody thinks, wow, I'm a great speaker. No, none of those things will come.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice answer, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. This is Pranita. I have a question, practical question, Prabhu. So we chant and we read and we understand that Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Yet sometimes, like yesterday when my cleaning lady was here, I don't allow them to go into my puja room because I think that is my sacred place. I have Bhagvatam and I have altar. And she took a glass and she was trying to drink water, and I said, hold on, I gave her a disposable glass. So is that like wrong, Prabhu? I was like, I did not see her as low or anything, but I don't know, like I feel like she cleans so many people's homes and she eats food that we don't consider appropriate for consumption, and but nothing, I don't have any like sinful thoughts or feelings for her. It's just that she comes from so many homes and she doesn't take shower. So is that
Yeah.
okay to stop her from going into my
Yeah.
puja room?
Yes, it is okay, but you can express it very nicely.
Yeah.
This is the altar where we do, like when we have altar, I have an altar, and I tell people to go parikrama because I want them to get some agyata sukriti by performing parikrama of the Lord. So I
Right.
don't worry so much about it. But at the same time, I generally devotees visit me and I let them do parikrama. Please go inside and have a parikrama. They go around the Lord. They go around Tulsi Maharani. So, but in Germany, I was quite strict about that. I told her, don't mop anything here. We'll take care of it ourselves. There's no harm. Because many people, they take meat and this and that. If she's a servant, they don't, as you said, they don't take bath and this and that. Yes, we are dealing with Krishna. So some standard is there, how to
Yeah.
keep the place, how to,
Yeah,
not
because
any Tom, Dick, Harry.
yeah, I have a Guruvayur Krishna in my family room, and I literally asked my husband to please move Krishna to puja room. I don't want them, and I felt so bad. I was like, but then my intention was, like I said, because she is coming from some other homes, I didn't want her to touch Krishna like that. So,
Yeah,
and I felt bad in my heart because I come from Vedic family where my father is like he does lot of muddy and everything. So,
yeah.
and I never appreciated that, but when yesterday I did that, I was like, oh my goodness, I like my father, he would it's different in India, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but here my heart was like, she is not clean, she hasn't taken shower, so I don't know how she is, like where she is coming from. So
Yeah, yeah.
but in my heart it clicked, Prabhu. I was like, oh my gosh, am I turning into my father, which I never appreciated, like. So
See, the point is like this. In India, these are all natural. Of course, many people, there are two ways of doing this. Smarta ways of doing it, very strict following rules and regulation, and the Vaishnava way of following rules. Now, Vaishnava way of following rules is they want to distribute the mercy of the Lord. They
right.
make sure like we have so many, our mysteries and all Muslims, but they
Right.
do a lot of stuff. They buy vegetables. They sometimes bring
Right.
vegetables from their garden. They just give it for the Lord. They give it to me, and then they don't go to the temple room. They give it to me, and then we'll cut and make preparation, and we offer. He gets the benefit.
Right.
And he is building mainly temples. All his workers are all Muslims, but they are only building temples.
Yeah.
And amazing thing is, in the India, these are people understand this thing, but in the West, in Germany, for example, there was one lady was working there. She was not a clean person, and one day I could see she was stepping the line, and I had to tell her, about tomorrow onwards, you don't need to come. I told her to get out in a nice way, because see, in the West, you cannot avoid this type. People give you a hug. This is normal in America. Everybody gives you a hug. It doesn't matter whether the periods or no periods, without nothing. Nobody follows any rules here.
Right.
So it is sometimes becomes difficult. But at the same time, we have to know how to keep things in order. At the same time, not be carried away by the rule. Because after all, you're dealing with humans,
Right.
and we want them to take interest in Krishna consciousness. And you give them prasadam, you make a little plate. I tell my wife, always whenever there's any occasion comes, some prasadam, she makes special halwa, this or that. I said, give a cup of to everybody. All the workers will get. We have leaf cups in India. You can get leaf cups. We put the halwa in different leaf cups and distribute to all our workers. They all are happy.
Yeah, I do that, Prabhu. She loves whatever I feed her. She loves it. So I feed her prasadam.
Yeah, that's all. You do that part of it, that will take care of it. Even later on, she will also try to understand why this is. So she will, part of self-realization also, one has to know how contaminated we are. But you cannot say that to people, you are a contaminated person. They'll wonder what is contamination. I mean, people in the West, at least, when the 3 days a woman, the period time comes, none of the people think they are contaminated. They don't even use the word contaminated. But it is a biological fact that these 3 days a woman must take full rest. not run around all over the place. But in the West, nobody does that. But they will get the reaction for that. If they don't follow the basic principles, they will become tired and exhausted, and they're not happy. Then, the hormonal imbalances will come. So one has to know the reason behind it and to follow that and try to encourage people. And even my wife is from Germany. She's a fully trained devotee, but she was a Sankirtan girl. But they were going on Sankirtan even during the period times, And the Sankirtan leaders says openly, Western women, they say, "Oh, you are not this body, but you are very much this body on these 3-4 days." So I told her when I got married, I saw her very tired and morose. I said, "What happened? Now you're married, you have a husband. Why it's like this?" "Oh, I'm going through this period time." And she enlightened me many things about what is periods means. I did not know as a child. At home, nobody speaks about all these things. And later on, I understood. I said, "Wow, your period. You should go and take rest 3-4 days. Don't even get out of your bed. Take good rest. Go to your bathroom, clean yourself. I will get you the prasadam every day." And of course, I was always a cook, even in Germany. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I give it to her in the home. And after 3-4 days, she felt, "Wow, I've rested so nicely. For the first time, I'm feeling very strong." I said, "Yes, whatever you learned in the temple, certain things you have to forget. They don't know what they're doing." I told her, because I've seen in my own family how my mother takes rest, my grandmother took rest, my aunts, all of them were taking rest, complete rest. So we have to follow this as much as possible. But if you are working outside, going to work everywhere, then of course it's difficult to follow all these things. People will come and touch you. You cannot help it. I remember as kids, when we were touching my mother who was in periods, she would take away all our clothes. We were naked. And then say, "Go and take shower and put fresh clothes."
Same in our family, Prabhu. That's how it was.
No, it is there in Vedic culture itself.
Yeah.
Prabhupada used to make a special provision. They said during these 3 days, they are out of altar. Women are not allowed on the altar. In the West also. Prabhupada made sure that the standard was followed. In a nice way, he would tell them, 3-4 days you take rest. Don't worry about it. But in the West, women are trained in such a way they are active, running around everywhere, even during the spirit times. And therefore, they are also having a lot of stress issues. So meant to take rest in this, instead of that, you're running around everywhere. How can you be happy and balanced?
Thank you,
So
Prabhu.
one has to adjust these things and do it accordingly. And nowadays, I don't have problem with my wife also. Of course, she's menopause and she has no such problem. She's happy doing her service all the time.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your wonderful class. And
Which part of Kerala you are from?
I'm from Maharashtra, Prabhu. I'm from Nagpur.
Achha.
But my best friend is from Kerala. So she got me Guruvayur, Krishna.
Achha. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhu.
We'll do a little bhajan now. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जननन्दन
यमुनतीरावनचारि
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 जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण
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 हरे
हरे
हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
राम
राम हरे राम राम
हरे राम
राम हरे हरे
एवरीबॉडी
हरे
बोलो
कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे धूप समर्पण
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
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 राम
राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
एवरीबॉडी
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
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 हरे
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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
नित्य
गौर हरि
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि
हरि
बोल
बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा
जय प्रभु पदा
जय प्रभु पदा जय
जय
प्रभु
प्रभु
पदा
पदा
जय
जय
प्रभु
प्रभु
पदा
पदा
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा
जय निताय जय गौर जय निताय जय गौर
जय निताय जय
जय
गौर
गौर जय निताय जय गौर
गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
जी महाराज की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय
जय
गोविंदा राधा गिरिराज गिरि गोवर्धन की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय सुखदेव गोस्वामी की जय हो
जय
शरण कोर्स की जय हो जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल और
हरे कृष्णा।
और
हरे कृष्णा
His Grace Ram Shraddha Prabhuji ki jai.
जय
Thank you so
जय
much, Prabhuji, for this
थैंक यू
special
प्रभु
class.
जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
हरे
Pranam.
कृष्णा हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा
सुप्रभात
Jai.
जय
Jai.
जय
शिव ने
जय जय
हरि हरि बोल
हरि
Hari
हरि
Bol.
हरि बोल
वंशा कल्पतरुभ्य
Sarvasya kripa sindhu eva cha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant koti Vaishnava.
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
दंड प्रणाम एवरीवन।